Coach, what have you seen from Hassan so far in camp, and what gives you confidence if there's an injury that he can go in and be competitive for you guys?
Oh, I mean, just the way that he's attacked these first 5 practices has been awesome. I think the good thing too, he's shown just a really, really good ability to overcome some adverse situations and play through some tough plays and bounce right back and go out there and respond and execute. So, there have been a lot of things to be excited about with him, and it's just one day at a time for him. He's embracing the process. Being a young quarterback that every day is just trying to take one step further to learning and executing and mastering this offense.
Obviously, like you said, it's early in the process, but what traits immediately kind of show themselves with Hassan when he gets out there?
Oh, I mean, just how important this is to him. And I think, too, he does a really good job interacting with teammates. And I think, for him being a young quarterback, one area where I think he's really well ahead of the game is just from a communication standpoint. Because obviously, as a quarterback, it's our job to, number one, relay the play to the offense and make sure those guys feel our confidence. And I feel like he's really, really taken some giant steps in that direction. And so I think that's one thing that really stands out from him, just from a communication standpoint and communicating with guys, talking through scenarios and situations with his teammates, where we can do certain things better. But a lot of things to be excited about for sure.
Jaden told us that he's reading more, meditating more, and just kind of trying to gain more knowledge in general. So how have you seen his efforts kind of pay off? Can you give some examples of?
Oh, I think just in general, his overall confidence. Again, kind of referencing Husan as well, just response to adverse situations. And I think you can just feel, Jaden being more and more comfortable in his own skin and more comfortable, being one of the leaders of this football team and operating this offense. So, yeah, for sure, you just feel a improved and an elevated level of confidence with the way that he's going about his business. And he is always, one that wants to learn more, wants to gain more knowledge. He's never satisfied with where he's at. So certainly, the things that you referenced, they've certainly shown up on the field, and I think it's a tribute to him. Just understanding, all right, what areas do I need to get better, and finding ways on and off the field, okay, to help build that up.
Can you talk about the benefit of having multiple athletic quarterbacks on the roster?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think any position in football, it's great to have athletic people, and certainly, for us with the group that we have, just the pressure it puts on a defense, regardless of whether you design or run for a quarterback or not. But just when you have an athletic quarterback that on any given play, if he's got green grass in front of him, can stick that foot in the ground and go get a bunch of yards. That puts a lot of pressure on defenses. That makes defenses, it forces them to have to account for that position in the run game potentially. And so certainly that's an advantage, and certainly it can draw people out of coverage and give you, the benefit there of less people in coverage. So there's certainly a lot of things that go along with quarterbacks that have, athleticism and can put pressure on a defense with their feet.
Assuming Jaden is at the top of the depth chart, how close would you say just Hassan and Sam are in terms of going for that?
Yeah, we don't. We're not talking anything as far as depth chart or anything right now. Each one of those guys is individually just trying to get better and better, and the awesome thing is all those guys support each other and they all help each other. And it's a really, really healthy team. And if you want to build a football team, which we are, okay, your quarterback unit's got to be the same. Obviously, everybody's competing. Everybody wants as many reps as possible, but these guys each day individually, they're tasked with what they know they got to get better at, and they've all been attacking it, and they all support each other, and all these guys help each other on the field as well. And the fun thing too, when one of them does something great, they're going to hear about it from their, one of the other quarterbacks in the room, which is a really healthy place to be. So we need all of them. We need the whole team. So very unselfish group.
How's the chemistry been with the wide receiver room? There's some different faces there. How's the quarterbacks been working with all those guys as a group?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, some of these younger receivers that have just gotten into our program, you can see it's a lot of some fresh legs, some guys that are super excited, enthusiastic, and I think all in all, in general, the thing that's fun as a coach is when we take this field, all these guys, it's really important to them. They really care about it. And, naturally at quarterbacks and receivers, you're going to have a lot of communication because you're relying on each other for, the proper throw spot or the proper depth on a route. But I really like the chemistry, and I feel like it's all the guys. I mean, I'm not singling anybody out, but I feel like every one of them after a series ends, they're talking through a different release or a different leverage of a defender, or hey, maybe I could have put a little more air on this throw. But the thing that's awesome too is everybody takes accountability. You know, and when you're speaking specifically with quarterbacks and receivers, you know, when everybody's taking accountability, you find yourself in the middle and you find yourself finding solutions.
What about chemistry with the O-line? There's some new faces there, so how are the quarterbacks kind of meshing with them?
It's great because I mean we have a nice blend of some veteran guys that have been here for a long time and played a lot of football, and some young guys that got a little bit of action last year, and then obviously some fresh faces as well. But I think there's really good leadership in that group as well. I mean, Coach Hansen has done a fantastic job, you know, with that unit, and just really built a tight group. So it's been fun to watch those guys compete and challenge each other and hold each other accountable. But I like the way that group is coming together for sure.
Elijah Page said Jaden has grown a presence in the huddle. You know, what do you see from Jaden Malva's maturity in the huddle and a presence as a leader?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, you get a signal or you get a communication from the sideline, and there's no pause. You know, he's been here now for over a year, and he's starting to get very, very comfortable in the system, and so yeah, I think what they're seeing is confidence. A guy that has a lot of belief in the system and how he's coached and the play caller that we have and how everything works together. We reference like just continuing to gain knowledge and discipline within the position. So yeah, I think that's there's no surprise to me that Elijah would reference to it, because I think we're all feeling that. And the thing for him, like with Jaden, he's never going to let that foot up off the gas. So that's a great thing too. Like, he's never going to be completely satisfied. But certainly you feel his demeanor, you feel his confidence, you feel his presence, and it's always going to be something, you know, for him one day at a time, and just continue to keep that foot on the pedal.
Out
See
here
one more?
Out here on the practice field, he seems a little bit more extroverted, more outspoken with his teammates, showing those leadership skills. When you guys are in the film room, is it that same type of personality, or is it more of a cerebral type?
Well, I think the thing with Jaden is that, you know, he's asking a lot more questions. You know, and I think when you ask more questions, usually that's because you have a little bit more understanding of what's going on, and now you're getting into some of the finer details of, hey, maybe what is the defense thinking on this look? Or, hey, how is our offensive line going to target this specific one? So just some of the finer details, you can tell that he's gained so much knowledge of this system and wanting to learn more and more. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing you take away from the meeting room is just, you know, his level of comfort in asking questions, and every question's a great question in any room. But yeah, the interaction piece is definitely picked up from that standpoint.
Thank you, Coach Huard.
You bet.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Right on.